Welcome. I'm so glad that you can join me here today. 248, lesson 216, excerpts from pages 628 and 29 out of The Sovereign Light, named after my ministry. And this is a course in metaphysical spirituality. How do you do? My name is Reverend Maria Arvanitidis. Won't you join me here today to just find a comfortable place and a position anywhere really that you can have your back straight and just concentrate on that. And you can be standing, sitting, lying down, just as long as you have your back straight. And just take a few deep breaths in, and that you have enough space from the tip of your middle finger to the other. See? And as you breathe in, and allow that pranic tube from the tube torus from breathing in and out that's created the spark of light, your life, your force, your chi, your prana, and just see it as a beam, a pillar of white light. And as you breathe in, it expands, and just concentrate on the center of your heart. When you're breathing in, the deeper you go, the more you're able to ascend and go deeper and enlighten. And so this is the anchor within your heart space center. And just breathe in and out. And why I'm saying to do arm movements if you want is because it helps to expand the lungs more so that you can breathe deeper. And the deeper you can breathe and allow that in, the better you will feel, and the more trusting you become in the surrendering aspect of it all, so that when we go deep, we go higher, we ascend even more to the next level of surrender and trust, to just let go of all resistance. And with that said, just find your grounding, find your center, okay? And just breathe, and you can do the same, breathing in from the soles of your feet, and in the center, and out, and breathing back up from the soles of your feet, in, and then just center, anchor. And as we were told, you can also do belly breathing if you'd like, from the solar plexus, sacral area. And so, whatever you feel comfortable. And let's begin with today's affirmation, with today's idea activation, the statement that we make to reaffirm throughout the day and give us somewhat of an encouragement to continue on through that perspective, that we might change the way we see things. And as mentioned before, this is how we change the mirror. And shall we begin? What is a sovereign light being? Again, that beam of light that we find, from that spark from within, that we might even refer to as the northern light, our guidance, our self-guided communication from within. And so that glimmer, that spark, that once it's recognized, then we see and become one with it. So, as I continue, I will start to read. With light, the body can engage, and that from others, to form and transfer patterns that resonate and interchange the thought of every species. Procreation can now be taken right out of the game, and that had once held creation into a limited perspective. And today, I am going to say these words out loud, and if you will, to join me. And the more that you partake within these lessons, the more you will get out of it. And throughout the day, if you like, you can pause and listen to it again and say it again, and let this be a help for you, to motivate you and help guide you throughout the day. Are you ready? You can opt to have your eyes closed or open, either or. And I like to hear you say these words with me, or repeat them after me, or even think them as I say them out loud. The faster I am able to allow the flow of time to move right through me, my youthful presence as immortal will continue to exist throughout eternity. And take a deep breath in and out. And every time you say these words, even if you have to take an intermission, to take a deep breath in and just take it all in, soak it in, absorb it with every breath, and let it go into your thoughts, and really believe and understand and grasp this meaning so that it can impress upon your world. The faster I am able to allow the flow of time to move right through me, my youthful presence as immortal will continue to exist throughout eternity. And take another deep breath in. The faster I am able to allow the flow of time to move right through me, my youthful presence as immortal will continue to exist throughout eternity. Take another deep breath in. The faster I am able to allow the flow of time to move right through me, my youthful presence as immortal will continue to exist throughout eternity. Living beyond life and death perspective is this empty space that, once explored, observing parallel existences, that the self can too physically appear and clone itself at will, and so it seems, however, teleporting in this way from one reality into the next and then another, traveling along and somehow reconnecting back into its physical body. All the many fractals, all the many perspectives that parallel in this reality, that once we focus and truly believe in whatever variation of that reality, we automatically go into that matrix and live within that experience, to experience So the concept of time has physically appeared like stencils from the past to thread along the linear presence and its future. It's a beautiful tapestry. And so when time collapses into itself, what then? Can the source be dancing with the ordinary and with this experiment? Might it awaken from its mystery to self-enlightenment and stir it to experiment as real with its own reality? It is possible to teleport the energy body, this consciousness, and its focal point of intent of the self and nervous system, this energy of parts and fractals as well as intellectual consciousness. It was discussed before that within the astral canvas of traveled space continuum, and from its very own discernment, bringing future into present moment to solidify is real. So, what is real? And what is, in fact, an illusion is up to us. And how we magnetically attract it. During the dreamtime space, the mind can vividly play with all the many signals it received by others, much clearly, and reach out internetting clairvoyantly to play with others. Again, this is if they allow it, if they consent to it from their own will. You see? It can resist, and then during waking state, the self can wonder why it did not turn out, and likewise the other energy parts that it had wished to play with might resist as well. So this is the concept of free will on every and any given platform of reality and levels. And so this is our consciousness. This is our spirit. And shall we say these words out loud once more to remind us of just how magnetically informed and enlightened we can be in this youthful state of enlightenment. Are you ready? Sounds good. The faster I am able to allow the flow of time to move right through me, my youthful presence as immortal will continue to exist throughout eternity. And just take another deep breath in and out. The genetic information to quantum waveforms can also be susceptible to change, as well as objects. This was discussed and lightly touched upon before. With this concept, manifestation, rather miracles, can be created with a change from those who wish to receive it, just like a blessing, and are ready to be transformed by it. To pick up signals that are generated, the self can be as alike with the many who are also sensitive in this vibration frequency. The vibration creates the frequency. And vice versa, and all the other energy fields around it. The energetic parts of the self are actually influenced by this interconnectedness and of every other thing that thinks and feels. The same is true with the physical body of the self, as its containment too parallels the energetic structure that pairs off with its cells within the brain and body. It is in the energetic bodies that will interface, and with every molecule from the self, that is where all thought occurs, and does include the nervous system, the back of the skull, the cerebellum, can allow and pick up these impulses to further coordinate and regulate from the vertebrae for muscular activities. The nervous system just the same can operate, and from the energetic parallel parts of the self. The less it can resist, the better it will flow. The less the push, the more cooperative the dance in harmony, and the time field of its light can have a way with to inspire. Awareness is the key, and along comes with it empowerment. To be aware of this information. And the purpose is for the self to interpret and respond well to the many stimuli through these relations, and relative to its enlightened state, responsible in its being, and in every way explainable through a give and take allowance. So breathe that in for a moment, and out, and just let it absorb, and take this information, this light of information, and I will leave you with this inspiring, encouraging, meaningful affirmation. The faster I am able to allow the flow of time to move right through me, my youthful presence as immortal will continue to exist throughout eternity. The faster I am able to allow the flow of time to move right through me, my youthful presence as immortal will continue to exist throughout eternity. When we say faster, we don't mean to cause any stress or pressure or tense up about it. In actual fact, it's the total opposite of that. When we relax into timelessness and surrender into this present moment, time will flow through us. Like every moment by moment that creates momentum, because all there is the here and now present moment. So when we say faster, it actually means relax into the nothingness and let time will collapse in on itself, and it will go by faster the more we're open to receiving it. The more we resist it, the longer it will take. Like with anything, the more we fight about something, the longer it would take to be accomplished. And those are natural laws, in fact. And so the faster I am able to allow the flow of time to move right through me, my youthful presence as immortal will continue to exist throughout eternity. So when we relax, we can actually take it in within the memory of each and every cell within the genetic DNA, and it will be like in the ethers of the collective consciousness that is considered as God. And we're just a sliver of that consciousness. But then when we go into that almighty presence of it all, that sliver of memory will still contain within the Akashic, the ethereal as we call it. And then we can always take up another form and then come back to this reality and remember and reawaken to the past life from previous. So this is what it means. And the more we relax into it, the faster we are able to allow the flow of time to move right through us. And the more relaxed we are, and see, the youthful we are in our presence as immortal. And will continue to exist throughout eternity. And with that said, I thank you so very much for joining me, and hopefully it will have somehow changed, most invariably, your way of thinking and way of seeing things into change ever so slightly of your reality. And thank you so very much. Until next time, keep on vibing into this beautiful state of enlightenment and existence.